What's up, beautiful Taurus, and happy birthday. It is Taurus season. The sun is lighting up that part of the sky of the beautiful, magnificent bull. The you and I are Taurus moons. Of course, you could be watching this Taurus moon rising or whatever personal planet you are. Big change for you, no matter where Taurus is in your chart. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Uranus is moving into your sign, so should you be a Taurus rising, it'll be moving into your first house, or maybe a little cuspy on the second and the 12th house. So that's a big deal if you're a Taurus rising. Otherwise, Sun, Moon could be conjuncting. Uranus just kind of brings revolutionary ideas, electricity, that mad scientist eccentricity that is so applicable to Uranus. I am kind of a Uranian person because I'm Aquarius Sun. But just expect big changes in that arena. That's the biggest thing happening in the sky this month for your sign. But of course, the sun is there as well. Uranus and the sun together could bring a very spiritual, awesome month for you. But if that doesn't matter and you don't care about astrology, just know that happy birthday. I love Taurus. It's such a beautiful, stable time. Luscious. So I'm going to get into your May reading, 3-card spread. Of course, I must say that I'm still doing personal readings. I jacked the price up from $5 to just $10. So if that resonates with you, or if this resonates with you and you want a personal reading, I will leave my information down below, one email away. But let's see what's coming up for Taurus this month of May. That rhymed. Yes, yes. I'm getting over a cold, so I have a very Taurus raspy voice right now, ruling my throat. Taurus rules the throat, so all this change in the sky happening around Taurus maybe could have activated that. But either way, I'm working with a limited voice. Okay, one more time. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what we pulled this month coming into the reading, a recent past, we're just setting off the reading with the energies of the Empress, which is kind of like Taurus incarnate when we think about Taurus being Venus ruled and Taurus being, very sensual. She has her watermelon dress and she's around nature and all that stuff. So that's coming in strong. Tauran energy could be your birthday. That too. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is the present position, which is what you're dealing with currently as you are watching this. And then we jack all the way up here to the Ten of Wands. So already the story here today, as is with not a lot of people, but it was the same story with Aries. There is a certain amount of flexibility that you could entertain as it has to do with your financial and career sector of a life. Juggling, success, Empress card, birthing a new idea into the world. How's it going to turn out? This is a very entrepreneurial type of spread, so you should be starting something or birthing something into the world. This reading is definitely picking that up. Or just starting something new. It does have to relate to career, it does have to relate to money, status, all that stuff. Self-esteem as well. Taurus rules that second house of self-worth. Just know that whatever it is, it's going to be a little bit of work, it's going to be a little bit of juggle, but in the end, you do have your success, because we went from 3, 2, all the way up to the 10. So whatever you set your mind on, if it's a little hectic and crazy and unstable right now, just know that that's not the end of the story for you, and that the ultimate reality is that you do find that success, not without its burden and hard work. Of course, success does not come easily for anybody. But let's talk about the Empress card. The Empress card is third in line in the tarot deck. She is after the High Priestess, who is after the Magician. The Magician being the inception of everything that we then set forth. The High Priestess being that divine inspiration information that we download, and then the Empress being that representation of an idea gestating that births out into the world. So a very material time for you, a very hitting the pavement type of time. The Empress is also luxuriating in her own isness, in her own luscious beauty. So this could be an indicator, it could be picking up on the fact that you are having a good time right now, just with the fact that it's spring, it's warmer, having a good time with your family, having a good time with friends, and celebrating your birthday. So that's coming and setting up the reading strong. But the Empress, she's an earthy girl, and she's more earthy than any type of pentacle sign. So this is like really, really strong. She doesn't represent any sign, but she's really strong Tauran energy, all that material Venus ruled beauty. That is what is setting off the reading. That is what's coming into a recent past for you. But archetypically, the Empress speaks to birthing something into the world. So like I touched on earlier, this could be an idea. It could be literally you're looking to get pregnant or you are pregnant. It could be starting a new chapter of your life and just beginning. Whatever you're just beginning. It could be a new relationship. We have the inscription of Venus, which rules love, music, art, poetry, our possessions, indulgence. We could flip all the way into eating too much, drinking too much, all that stuff. It's a very rich time for you, and I get the fact that it's almost not too much too soon, but it is a lot, and it's heavy. Taurus is a heavy earthbound card, so it's talking about a lot of gravity here. And then we move into the Two of Pentacles, which is very much throwing you off balance, and Pentacles representing those earth signs. You are one of them, and your sisters Capricorn and Virgo. And the Two of Pentacles is speaking to, things are wobbling and you can't keep them in balance. Now, very specifically, this could be a money thing. When we talk about the Empress, and we talk about overindulgence, and we talk about how Venus rules money, self-worth, all of that stuff, we could have been spending too much of ourselves, spending too much of our money, spending too much of our time, spending too much of our body if we're eating and doing too much, and it threw you off balance. But it's just the Two of Pentacles. So you're only juggling, technically within the picture, two things, but what that represents is that it's something simple. It's something that can be thrown back into balance if you just have some diligence and some practice. If you're spending too much money, you might be feeling like you spent too much, you did too much for your birthday, or you're planning your birthday and you're doing too much. April and May is also a really strong vacation time. The Empress does kind of represent vacation. She does have the inscription of 3, third house, even though she kind of relates to the second house, but third house is, travel, short distance travel, but travel in and of itself, communication. So it's a very busy, lively, active social time, and basically you are feeling spent. And the major message for most of you here is that this has something to do with money, has something to do with business, it has something to do with your actual physical health, and it has to do with something that is just now starting. The Empress, third in line from the originator, the Magician. So this is something that is starting. Two of Pentacles is also an indication, 2, right after the Ace, right after the granting of the Pentacle. This is something that's just starting. New job, new relationship, getting back on the dating scene, new workout thing, a new idea to travel, something fresh and new, something that is in its infancy. And you are worried now about whether it's going to work out, about all the parts that you have to juggle in order to see it through. If it's dating and you haven't dated in a while, you might be like, does anyone like me? Do I have time? If it's a new job, it could be like, can I handle these responsibilities? Can I handle the new commute? All this stuff. You know what it is for you, but I just wanted to give you some real world examples. And then we have very beautifully, but very appropriately, the Burden of Success card, which is here the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands, I like to read two ways. So before and after, this could be the burden that you had to deal with before you get the success, or you manage to achieve the success and then it comes with all these responsibilities. So you know what that would be for you. With starting with the Empress, with the 2, it really does, especially because you're juggling, it does seem like the burden is coming more so before the success can happen. So before we can start a business, we have to get our money in line, we have to get the logistics right, we have to get our people, all of that. So that's a burden, technically. But it just speaks to some weight, as we spoke to before, some gravity, some heaviness, some uncertainty. So, some tectonic plates moving underneath your feet. You feel a little bit unstable. That is a burden, whatever it is that you are juggling, whatever it is does not feel solid, whatever does not feel, are we out of the woods yet type stuff. Here we are, out of the woods, and actually carrying the woods to market to sell them. And then if it speaks to, you want the thing really bad, and you're kind of naive about how much work it's going to take, the 10 of Wands is your wake-up call to say, hey, this is divinely for you. You do have the chops to make this happen. You do have the smarts, the wit, whatever it is, the money, the degree, the credential, the beauty. whatever. You do have the raw goods to make it happen, but what awaits you on the other side when it does manifest, it's going to be some work, it's going to be some answering to people, it's going to be some responsibility, and it's going to be some having authority over your actions and yourself and what you're going to do. So Taurus, your month is happy birthday month, but you're getting down to business about something that, about a business perhaps, about something that's just starting in your physical world, your physical life, which could be love life, job, home, all of that stuff. Things that we can physically see and touch. This isn't really a spiritual necessarily reading. You're starting it, it's throwing you off balance, you may have overextended yourself, you need to draw yourself back in, overindulging, draw yourself back in, doing more things in moderation. But really the arc here is that you're starting something, whether it's a business, whether it's a new relationship with yourself or with someone else, a new job, a new avenue, just a new idea. And you are being granted with the indication of success, but you do have to work, you do have to employ that Tauran tenacity and really dig your heels in and go forth. And do it in a way that's balanced. You don't want to be here and out of balance, right? So that is my forecast for you, Taurus. Whatever you are starting, whatever you are beginning is meant for you, but it is going to require you to step up, to be in the arena, to throw yourself back into balance, and to really check off and dot your I's and cross your T's and be a responsible recipient of all the success that will be coming your way this month. So that has been your reading. I hope that it has resonated with you. Of course, if you need any more clarity about your specific situation, I am just one email away. Until then, enjoy your birthday month, and I will see you back here in June. Right? May, June. Yeah, I got it right. Yeah! See ya, Taurus.